remember it was on a Thursday. Matter of fact, let's take it back. Wednesday night, I found myself looking at these different YouTube clips and watching different out-of-body experiences and different films that, they used to scare me. And I would watch it and it would blow me away. It would catch my attention. And it used to scare me so bad that I would wonder, my mind used to go in place like, God, is this stuff real? I couldn't understand it because I've never been to that place. So I found myself praying. I remember walking outside of my apartment, and I was walking back and forth with my eyes closed and just started praying. And I asked God, I said, Lord, if you give me an out-of-body experience, I vowed to share your word and to tell the people what I saw. Not expecting that God was going to respond back to that, because I was just praying out. I was just praying, not actually looking for a response. And after that night, the next morning, that Thursday, October the 2nd, I had a dream. And my spirit left my body. It was like I was in my apartment and my spirit got pulled out of my body. And I would go in these different transits, bright color lights. It was white, like the best way I can explain it would be shoo, 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 all the different flashing lights. And I appeared before a blue sky with no clouds. It was like a blue place. No land, no trees, no grass, no water, nothing. There was nothing there but a blue atmosphere. And I would see this atmosphere goes millions of miles upon millions of miles where nothing existed. It was like nothing was hidden. Everything was revealed. Everything was before your eyes. You could see it. And we was in this clear kind of body form, some form of light, as you would refer to a soul or a spirit, and I could see through. It was so transparent, and in front of me was thousands among thousands similar to what I was, and thousands among thousands behind me, and I knew that it was some form of a soul. And in the middle of my chest were seeds, multiple seeds. I didn't know what they were for, and I realized that I was the only being that could actually move out of my place and look and observe, smell, taste, feel. All my senses were active at this point. And so, I began to look around and to observe the things that I saw, not knowing that this was a dream. I thought this was reality. I thought this was actually happening, and I looked forward, and there was this great shadow way in front of me, way at the end of the line. It was like 1,000 people in front of me, and there was a shadow, a great big shadow, but it had no detail. It was like as a vapor, and I could see that it was a shadow of something that was in the front. And I had many questions at this point in this dream, and out of nowhere, I heard these words: "Depart from me." And this galaxy, this portal, I don't know what to call it, on the right side of God, or Jesus Christ, whoever you decide to identify that spot of judgment, on the right side of him, there was this big portal that opened up, and there will be stones of fire. Normally when you get a lighter and you cut it on, try to spark a flame, but instead of fire, it was stones. And they will leak out of this portal. And whoever that guy said, "Depart from me," flew down this place. And the stones were so hot that it would burn everybody outside of that portal. On the left side of our body or our form, it would burn us. And everybody would be like, "Ooh," like as if it was so cold or so hot. You would tell somebody to close that door. It's too cold. That's how hot it was. And the portal closed. And then he sent them so fast that the screams were late. I heard, "Ah!" Like it was like, "Depart from me," and it closed up. Then the screams come, "Ah!" And it terrified me. And then out of nowhere, something snatched us up. And like we moved up the line. And I began to think, I didn't understand where we was. I'm like, oh my God, maybe this is judgment. Yeah, I had many questions, and I would hear, "Depart me," "Depart me," "Depart from me," and all these different people will be sent to hell. And the part that scared me the most was the people that were getting judged. You could hear when God was talking to them, and you could hear everything they got judged from. So if somebody went to hell for something that you knew you struggled with in your life, you know where you were going. And so I'm just seeing people go, sit there, boo, boo. And I'm seeing the flame, and it's just constantly burning everybody outside that haven't been judged yet. And I could hear some of the people talking to God. And I remember there was a woman, blonde hair, and God was talking to her. He said, I'm not judging you for what you put on Facebook, but I'm judging you on how everybody else received it. 300,000 people were led astray by one of her Facebook posts. And he said their blood was on her hands. And out of nowhere, he said, depart from me. And I'm talking about, I couldn't express how powerful his words were. It's as if he said, depart from me, and everything shook. And she was sent with great force. And the portal opened up. Boom. She would go, and it would close. And the screams were so late, it terrified me. People, adultery, fornication, so many different things that I could actually hear. And people in front of me were terrified because a lot of those people were struggling or went through the same situation, and they never repented. So 1,000, sent here. They were flying. They was flying so fast. I've never seen something so fast. And it got to the point where I was next in line, and he called me up.
Holy, 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 the whole earth is full of his glory. Welcome to Ryu no Asiru. In this school, in this class, we are going to prove the existence of the Most High. As the clip you have seen, the YouTube clip that you just saw is real. Your homework from yesterday, you subscribers, was to go to YouTube and learn about exorcism. It is very real. Go and learn about the giants, the bones of the Nephilim. That was your assignment, because there is a spiritual world and there's a physical plane. There's heaven, earth, and hell. I hope y'all did your homework. The young man was looking at YouTube clips of out-of-body experiences. He questioned if this stuff was real. But you unbelievers, especially you female atheists, you deceive yourselves. You do what makes you feel good. I'm getting on a woman more in this class, because me and the Most High, we know how y'all operate. You females, you deceive yourselves and you bounce around. That's why Satan is easier to get to the female than the man. The woman, you guys deceive yourselves and you bounce around. Now I am addressing the woman atheist, because I had a discussion with the atheist previously who was a woman, and she in her speech she was deceiving herself. Whatever feels good, right? Y'all about to wake up. Now this is a class. There's English class, there's a math class, there's calculus, there's history class. When you want to learn about God, you have to study, as it is written. Study to show thyself approved. If you want to become an approved Christian, if you want to approve that God is real, guess what? You have to study. I shouldn't have to break this down to y'all in this simple way. You should just know it. Time is short. I'm not playing with you all. This is class time. John chapter 1 verse 5. And now I urge thee, lady, not as though I wrote a new commandment unto thee, but that which had from the beginning, that we love one another. Verse 6. And this love that we walk after his commandment. This is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, and ye shall walk in it. Pause. In order for us to know about God, to get a relationship with him, because there's levels. You got to believe in God. You have to build a relationship through his son, Yahushua. You have to keep the commandments as well. But you unbelievers, a lot of y'all are into sciences. You're into paganism. You're worshiping other gods. Verse 7. For many deceivers are entered into the world, who confess not that Jesus Christ, Yeshua, is come in the flesh. This is a deceiver and an antichrist. So for you unbelievers, you are easily deceived by the beast. You are easily deceived by the world. You are easily deceived by the Antichrist. There is a spiritual world and there's a spiritual plane. You are in the midst of war. And if you continue to be rebellious, if you don't want to learn and discipline yourself in this word, guess what? You could burn in that hellfire. This is not a game. Jude chapter 1 verse 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, and set forth for an example suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Long story short, Sodom, there was homosexuality going on there. What happened to Sodom? The Most High burnt Sodom to a crisp. Nothing left. Fire. He destroyed Sodom with fire. Leviticus chapter 18 verse 22. Let's look at another commandment. See, we have to obey these commandments because, like I just read in verse 7, you can be deceived by the Antichrist. Oh, God is not real. Christ is not real. You can be deceived by the beast, worshiping the creature. Let's look at a commandment so we won't be deceived. Let's pay attention in class. Come on, man. It's simple, y'all. A lot of y'all atheists are lazy. Very lazy. Study to show thyself approved. Leviticus chapter 18 verse 22. God is real. It is his word. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. No gay lesbians. No gay men. Leviticus chapter 20 verse 13. If a man also lie with a man as he lied with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. So that's why when you guys come to my ministry, understand, when I rebuke you, and if you don't repent, your own blood is on your hands. Everything is being recorded. We are in the last seconds, not days. Get right. Study this word. Bond with the Most High. Know about his beloved Son. Keep the commandments so you won't be deceived by this world, by the sciences, by the Antichrist. Because you are in the midst of war for your own soul. Your homework is go to the YouTube search bar up top. Type in Sodom salt pillar, because Lot's wife in the story in the Bible, the same book that y'all don't believe in, Lot's wife, before the destruction of Sodom, before God destroyed it with fire, she looked back and she turned into a pillar of salt. So your homework is just one assignment. Go to YouTube search bar or Google search engine. Just go to YouTube search bar. Type in Sodom, Sodom. That was the place in the Bible where homosexuality was going on. Type in Sodom, salt pillar, real. And it's still out there till this day. There's a salt pillar sticking up, standing up, where you can view and see it with your own eyes. This is not a game. The Bible events, this is not a game. God is real. I just proved his existence.